Bill, what up?
What up, though, Ness? The boxing voice, the voice of the people, the voice of the streets. What's happening, man? I mean, I see the topic is the bracelet is off,
The bracelet is off, but man,
but
I
are the
see. Nah, nah,
chains
nah, nah,
off,
nah.
Ness?
Let's talk about you, cause I see you done got yourself a whole team, man. Salute. No,
Oh,
I'm really impressed with your reels, your constant content that you putting out daily. I got an idea who you got, but I really like what you're doing. Not everybody does, but certainly I do. You are super intelligent, Bill. But yeah, man, why you coming so hard at Floyd, man? He's our legend, man. Like he TBE. Why every day you attacking Floyd?
listen, Ness. One thing at a time. We got the bracelet is off today, and that is a big thing and a big deal for boxing. Would you toot the horns, please, one time for me, sir? One time. Oh, yeah. Yes, that's the bracelets are off, and we cannot today.
Bill, you know you ain't
Today
gonna be
is
able
his
to
day.
drive and get this off. You freezing up.
Okay, hold on one second, Ness. I mean, I think. Hold on one second, Ness. Can you hear me?
Yeah, nah, we hear you.
Okay. Well, I mean, nothing started freezing until those questions that you start talking about that other guy when we need to be talking about what's on the title. It said the bracelets are off, but does that mean that the shackles are also off, Ness? I mean, who's making the decisions now? You know what I mean? Is it TBE or is it GTD, Ness?
I mean, you know better than us. You deal with Eddie. What happened to the offer he received 2 days ago? It hasn't gotten turned down publicly. We haven't seen Eddie say that he don't want the fight with Connor. No news is
Well,
good news. No news is good news. Now the bracelet off. Maybe he got that. He lining that fight up.
I mean, you're talking about the bloke with plenty of yoke over there in the UK, Eddie Hearn. You know what I mean? And the possibilities are endless. I mean, you know what I mean? We never seen an event that Eddie couldn't go get the cash for if he had to go make it happen. So, you know what I mean? That's a realistic possibility. And I'm glad that everyone points out that all these guys and all these events are possible, but it takes the fighter. It takes two fighters and two teams to want to come together and make those things happen, Ness.
Well, I look at it like if he does the Connor fight, it's a natural bridge to the Haney fight because not only did he finally do business with Eddie, but Eddie and Devin have a relationship with Turkey Al Sheikh, who's already expressed that he wants to see Devin fight in Saudi. Now, if Eddie can use that newfound Conor Ben Tank Davis relationship to give us the big fight in Saudi, Tank versus your son. Now, I mean, I'm optimistic. I'm sorry. I'm a dreamer. I don't watch
Well,
football and
well,
baseball. I
listen.
only watch this.
Well, you use those good products. Shout out to Hardin. You know what I mean? Because you know what I mean? You're being more optimistic, more than just optimistic. When you brought all those moving parts together, this part and that part, I want to say that you know what I mean. The His Excellency Turkey Al Sheikh has killed any narrative that it could have been about money. I think Fast Eddie Hearn, that bloke with plenty of yoke, that guy that has the direct line to a magnificent platform like the Zone, who I've always been saying, hey, this is the new way that we're gonna watch boxing. This is the new way to cover it. And everybody thought we was behind, but we was bringing them along. Cause Devin was with the Zone when Danny Jacobs and Tevin Farmer was the only ones there. You know what I mean? So for it to kill that narrative. I think Eddie Hearn and Gervonta Davis having dialogue back and forth kills the narrative that Bill Haney didn't show up with a realistic possibility for a fight with Devin Haney and Gervonta Tank Davis. So I mean the narratives are getting killed by the day, Ness. And here, the boxing voice, the voice of the people, a platform like this, allows for boxing to move on into where it needs to go, move on into the millennial.
So has camp officially started?
Oh yeah, you know it's no longer business. It then got personal. We know that it's a lot of people and a lot of things involved in this fight. What it took to make the fight, those that didn't want the fight happen, those that were pulling against us, those that are pulling for us. I mean, it's a whole show that's going on. You know what I mean? And I'm focused, Ness. I know who's on whose side, you know where we at, you know what I mean? And it's a real big one. 420 is gonna be fireworks for sure.
So are you business as usual camp in between LA and Vegas?
Yes, yes, it's both in between. You know what I mean? And we might pull out something else, of course, because we're doing some press. It'll be some press tours and stuff in there. To New York and L.A. So we're still working as we go, Ness. You know what I mean? But like I said,
So two cities, New York and
two
LA.
two cities. Two cities, but those are the press tours. Then you still actually have press that you have to do, and you have, you know what I mean. You have the different podcasts and different platforms that you need to go to. So while you're traveling, you're still training, and I'm sure that Ryan Garcia, he's going to be doing the same with Derek James. A hell of a team down there. We don't take them lightly by no stretch of the imagination. This is 3-3. It's game time. This is number 7. This is the one that really counts, and that's what it's being billed as, and that's the only one we can look at right now.
Um, so are you bringing in anyone? Sometimes you have someone assist in training. Anyone specific this time, or is this one just you and Dev?
That's to be determined because we bring in what's necessary, what we feel and what's accessible, what not just necessary but also accessible. You know what I mean? To just make this whole Devin Haney show be what it is. So tune in. Stay tuned. What I mean? We're working, but at the end of the day, it started with me and Champ. You know what I mean? And Champ being the one that's the most important key component in this, and him being healthy, him being, you know what I mean, happy. It centers around him, and it's all about him.
So any weight clause restrictions, since obviously, since Devin weighed 165 for the Regis fight, a lot of people have been making accusations. Keith Thurman, man, I just watched an interview, someone else. Oh, Kenny Ellis, uh, have insinuated. Now, Kenny didn't directly say Devin, but, he said these guys weighing 20, 25 pounds above, that's, illegal use of IVs and things.
Those,
People are
those,
keep.
those guys and certain guys, listen, certain guys, they're running out excuses. This is the reason why they haven't accomplished the things that they would have liked to accomplish. This is why belts don't matter. This is why a lot of things don't matter, is because, they're not in that position. If if there was a weight restriction, I'd let you know. If once you get on the scale, if you get on the scale and there's a particular weight that you need to be, right? That's someone writing some stuff in within the WBC rules and rankings as a champion, right? There's no restriction on Ryan. There's no restriction on Devin in any way, other than getting on the scale and weighing 140 and fighting the next night. That's it. So, and it's for everything. It's for everything. And I think that that's important because when you talk about restricting one of the fighters from doing what the Queensberry rules of, the WBC rules in particular, then you talk about a handicap. You talk about a fight within a fight. This one is for everything. It's for, it's it's the seat, man. It's that chair. It's that chair in the division in boxing that they're both are fighting for, and it's going to be fireworks on 420.
So no rehydration, no catch weights.
No rehydration, no catch weights. Winner takes all. Ness. No
Rematch
rematch
clause?
clause. No rematch clause. No anything. It's winner take
What?
all. It's for everything, baby.
No, no, no. One-way rematch for Devin.
No,
No rematch clause for Ryan.
no.
Why? Eddie never does a champion without a rematch.
Well, this one is for everything. This one is you go your way, we go ours.
Okay. So when you say you go your way, we go ours, are you saying that this is also the last option and dealings that you would not dealings because obviously you could get to renegotiate, but technically on paper this would be the end of Haney and Matchroom?
Well, no, it's not about Haney and just Matchroom. It's about Haney and Golden Boy. It's also uh, Oscar De La Hoya. You know, putting this fight on, man. You know what I mean? You got to give him his grams. You got to give him his kudos, Ness. He took an opportunity to have two young fighters in their prime, put on a show. Oscar could have stood in the way of this. Brian is contractually tied to Oscar. Devin is not contractually tied to Matchroom. I was able to go out and talk to Oscar in that infamous day with Bernard Hopkins, and I was able to whisper to Oscar. I
Wait,
say,
wait,
"Hey,
wait,
Oscar,
wait, wait, wait. You said Devin is not contracted to Matchroom?
no, what we have is we have an agreement. It was a right to match. It was a right to match, right? And obviously, uh, Eddie couldn't match it because he didn't have the fighter. I went out and got the fighter and Ryan Garcia and did the deal with Golden Boy. But in honor and respect that Devin has to Eddie and their relationship, he wants to keep Eddie involved in some capacity in making the fight as an honorable young guy that Devin is. But the fight was actually made. I made the fight with Oscar, and I have to get back to that. And I don't want it to be overshadowed because Oscar had Ryan contractually tied to him, and he could have swayed and made the um, what is that fight? The one with the guy with Ramirez. He could have made an in-house fight with Ramirez or Barbosa
Barboza, a lot
or
of
you know
guys, a
what I
lot
mean?
of guys.
A lot of guys. So what Oscar did was he put a deal on the table. You know what I mean? And we ironed through it. We walked through it. I told him what I thought it looked like. We went back and forth, and we came to a conclusion that working together works, and if we work together good on this one, then of course we'd want to work together in the future. But right now it starts at Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia on 420.
I wouldn't mind Devin going on a green print with Golden Boy, obviously, because from what it sounds like, if he wins, maybe you guys fight again, a Barboza fight, a Ramirez fight. Those are, decent fighters. Maybe Devin wants to stay with a champion and only fight Ramirez. But since you
Well, it's the
spoke
work.
about,
Listen. Shout out to Golden Boy and having some work there for Ryan Garcia to do, but he not doing it. He dancing around and
nah, nah,
complaining
nah. He
and
not
all that other
dancing
stuff.
around. He moving on to
Listen,
bigger. He wants the
okay,
work. He
okay,
just wants
listen.
the tougher work in Devin. That's
Okay,
all.
hey, listen. And shout out to him for that. You know what I mean? Shout out to him for that. But I noticed that they were talking about one Rolly Romero and all these other things and all Regis Prograis. He talked about a lot of other things. He talked about some things with Eddie and some other things.
Come on, Bill.
Um,
He had to play hard to get it. Eventually, he landed here.
I listen. I understand, but this fight right here is for the one that counts. It's for the seat that really matters. It's for the seat that you can go on a run and you can have a few Golden Boy opponents, a few matchroom opponents. You can do it. Ness. This is why it's all about this fight. This fight is right here is for everything, and we know the players that's involved. We know the players that's with us. We know the players that's against us. Shout out to the Golden Boy Oscar De La Hoya for putting on the event in association and partnership with Devin Haney Promotions and Matchroom Boxing, and King Rye Promotions for all making this thing happen. It took some work in this, but listen, at 420 is gonna be fireworks, and we're ready.
Bill, since you were talking about when you spoke of Eddie, you used the word honorable about Devin, right? You said honorable young man, something like that. Do you
Well,
feel that the
yeah,
WBC is being honorable and why? Just fuck it, man. Why are they forcing y'all to pay step aside money? I was told by Nancy
they're not
Rodriguez of the
forcing us.
WBC.
They're not forcing us. It's
So is
one
that a
more.
false report?
Well, it's one more opportunity for Devin to show what he does and to make these fights happen. You know what I mean? And when Sandor Martin he came over to Bob Arum, I got a chance to see Sandor Martin and meet his team over with the WBC one day. I was meeting with Mauricio, fine group of young men, and well, young guy and a couple of older guys that seemed like they were about their business as well, right? You know, very mannerable and everything, right? And when I met him and I told him, I said, when the time happens and it's right, Devin Haney will fight Sandor Martin. And they both agreed, along with our team, that this fight wasn't the right fight, that the fight with Haney and Garcia superseded that. And as gentlemen, they understood it, and I understood that as a gentleman. Devin understands that also, and the magnitude of this fight and the amount of money that's involved, we gave them some money, a small fraction amount of money, and it was out of respect more so than anything else.
So is the name of this fight really Game 7, or is it all on the line because you're doing no rematch, you're paying
This is the
step
one.
aside to
This is
get
the.
it done.
This is
Uh,
this fight. This fight is being labeled the one that counts.
all right, all right. I have. So, what were your thoughts on Jermaine Ortiz versus Tio?
Heck of a fight, Jermaine Ortiz. He 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 did a hell of a performance. What he did was he showed that Tio he belongs in the division amongst the champions. He showed that he is one of the guys, right? He could have done more. He says, you know, he's of course, well, like any time you come out of a fight like that, you figure you could have did more of this or more of that. Along with Tio, I'm sure Tio feels the same way. Um, but Jermaine did what he did a good job, and he let the people know that there's something about Tio that someone with a little bit more, just a little bit more, can upstage him. And we know who that person is. And he goes by the name of Devin Haney. And it's a reason why the TOs and the TO seniors now have went radio silent. You know, when you talk about the camps, the Tank Davis's camps and all that, why wouldn't you be saying that you're on your way to see Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney on 420? Why are you now everyone went radio silent like it's not the fight of the year?
Well, they've
Because
already
listen,
established that they are trying to fight in the summer in Honduras. So Devin isn't on
yes,
the menu, so to speak, or the
yes.
horizon or agenda, not menu, excuse me. But I did want to double back. So is Bernard going to be a part of the promotion? Have you guys put your differences aside? Will he choose not to be present? Like, what's going to happen with you and Bernard for the buildup of this fight now?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what what
Well, I
part
mean,
of the build
we
up
know that
or
you're. Oh, you haven't done anything. I'm saying, obviously, he shoved you, so I don't know if you want to be in his presence again, or if he wants to be in your presence again.
well, this is Devin Haney business, and like I said, as just not only just a manager and trainer, you know what I mean, that I'll be present, but as a dad, I've always reiterated I'm willing to go to jail or hell about my son. You know what I mean? So I don't know if you're insinuating that it should be, that there'll be any kind of bullshit going on. But you know, we're attacking diplomacy ends. You know what starts and you know what begins. So, um, I know that he wasn't there while we were negotiating. So if he's there while we're fighting, or if he's there during the build up, then he's part of Golden Boy. So I would expect him to be there.
Um, Matias signed the Matchroom, and they're promising him a big fight. It, what is the goal? Because I'm getting mixed reports that Devin said he's already achieved legacy, and now he's on his, Floyd Money Mayweather kind of, or are you guys still looking to build legacy?
Oh, listen, you're building legacy and getting money at the same time when you're at the top of the hill. We want to make sure that that top of the hill place that everyone says that we've been climbing to, that is there, and that it's a real seat that's meant for a king like Devin Haney. The one-armed bandit, Matias, he's not a problem, and he's definitely an option, and on the menu of many champions and things to do after this fight. You know what I mean? Of course, I make my rounds. I go see what's happening, what's with everyone. Right now we got 420, and we're going against a heck of a crowd. We're going against a heck of a team, and the Garcia team with, Derek James being a trainer of the year. You know what I mean? That team with his dad, Haney-Garcia. You know what I mean? Lupe, the attorney, and Floyd Mayweather, who's spending time, talking to and training him on the low. But I want them to always know is that, is we see everything and we're prepared. Fight night, it's only going to be Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia in the ring together. And it's going to be fireworks.
Bill, man, it just dawned on me that you've done business with every promoter other than Floyd.
No, we did business with Showtime and
That's not
Showbox,
Floyd.
which was which
That
was which was which was which was Steven Espinosa and part of that whole PBC Al Heyman
Come on.
thing.
What's the other
Because
guy? What's
when
the other guy you always come on here? Gordon Hall. That's who
Gordon,
you.
my
That's who you dealt
that's
with.
my
Nah,
that's
that's
my
that. It
that's my
wasn't
buddy.
really. It wasn't really PBC. Come on, Bill.
Well,
At the end of the
well,
day, on paper, you've dealt with Lou DiBella, Top Rank, Matchroom, and now
mhm,
Golden Boy.
yes. Well, Top Rank as well, right?
I
ESPN
said
Top
that. I
Rank.
said that. I said no. I
Okay.
said that. I said Lou
Yeah,
DiBella, Top Rank, Matchroom, and Golden Boy. That's four promoters.
absolutely,
When
absolutely.
do you ever see, like, obviously you need to deal with them to get this Tank fight?
Okay. Now I'm just. Are you dealing with Tank and Floyd? Are they together? I don't know. Are they together or not
I
together?
mean, I mean Al, man. At the end of the day, Al, like, maybe that's the issue
So,
because you trying to talk to Tank, you trying to talk to Calvin,
oh,
Kenny, Floyd, Ellerby. Maybe it's Al that we need to get on. Not I can't do that, but I mean,
I think
have you tried to do
anytime
that?
that I think anytime that you've done business in boxing, you've done it with Al at some capacity or a blessing with Al. You know what I mean? So, whether it's a Gamboa, you know what I mean, who we had early on, who was between them or whatever, So it's and I don't know. I don't care to look through all of them. I know that I move with respect, whether it's the top ranked team, or it's the matchroom team, or the Golden Boy team. You know what I mean? Whether it be the Al Heyman team, I'm going to always move with respect and try to do everything that I can to get Devin the fights that he needs, and anyone that I represent to get the fights that they need to further their career.
But have do you have Al's number? Al Heyman.
Uh, no, I've never had Al Heyman's number.
But you have Louis DeCuba's number, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Have you ever verbally ask Louis to try and help you make the Tank Davis fight between Al and yourself and Devin?
Oh, absolutely. That's Louis. Louis is a good dude and making the big fights happen, and he knows that he has my number and I have his number.
But
And
you've asked him that.
anytime, oh, no, absolutely, absolutely.
And
Louis is
what
the
did
guy.
he say? What did he
Louis is the
say?
guy.
Not right
He
now.
said
This
that,
ain't the time. I'm gonna
no,
do what I can. What?
no. What Louis says is that he'll give me a call when it's time.
That's it.
Well, that's all that him or Leonard Ellerby or anyone else has said. What else can you say, Ness?
No, it's all good. So listen, there's gonna be, you love doing this, but I love you for it, right? Because it makes you, I guess, run into the fire. But you love taking challenges with your son where he's forced to be compared. Now he's gonna be compared to Tank. Obviously, those that know will take into consideration certain things like hydrations, catch weights, moles in the camp, those things. But at the end of the day, the casual don't know shit about that. All they know is Devin's fighting the guy that Tank knocked out. What's, you know, a win is a
Well, you take a
win.
look at
Because a lot of people
no,
feel
no,
like Ryan may be
no,
able
no,
to
a
be
run,
stopped
no,
by
no,
Devin this
Ness,
time around. I don't
Ness,
know. Some people
Ness,
think Devin could knock him
Ness,
out.
Ness. But you have to tell them the truth, the casuals, right here on the Boxing Voice,
What truth
that
is that?
that that Tank Davis got Ryan Garcia at a disadvantage.
Well, I said that. I
Okay,
literally just
so
said,
so so so
you
what?
guys are.
Fighting. We're fighting a healthy Ryan Garcia. We're fighting a Ryan Garcia that's
I
not
said
at
all
a
that, Bill, but
disadvantage.
the issue
And
is
I'm
the
saying it,
casual
but
fan don't know that. We know that.
well,
Like I said, the people that know Tank had
yes,
a rehydration. I said Tank. I said the people that know Tank had a rehydration. He had a catchway. He also had a mole in the camp. We know that, but like the casual fan does not. And we know he took a tune-up
right.
before the Ryan fight. But again, we are hardcores. The casuals, they just know Tank beat up Ryan and he got the stoppage.
Well, Ness. The thing about that is that um, we've we've took our own path. Our trajectory is different than anyone else's, and I think that we're turning the casual fans into hardcore fans by our story. You know what I mean? We haven't followed their story. Our story is really from the bottom. Our story is one fan at a time. Our story is being accessible. Our story is fighting those fights, coming out and saying, um, you know, um, Matias is a one-armed bandit. You dig? You know what I mean? Like they act like the people that's the hardest fights are the ones that they don't talk about or don't give to
What
the
up,
people.
YouTube family? Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that million subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content or right here on our YouTube members.